just wanted to say that there is loads of space at the front if you want to come forward, because again, people look a little bit squished on the sides. So the next role that will be spoken on is the international officer. So again, this is another uncontested role, so there won't be questions here. So if I could invite Serena Coulson and Annie Sridharsan on the stage, please. Serena and Annie. Serena and Annie for international officer. Okay. Let's move this to the...
Yes.
We're going to move this. I'm going to announce it again in a few roles' time. But. Roles time. But.
It's not our role to come up with all of the ideas.
One of the things that I'd like to do is start setting up regular spaces where campaigns can explain their campaigns to students, so students are aware of the various campaigns that are going on in the school, but not just in the school, local, national and international campaigns. Campaigns like Save Latin Village, who are trying to stop the gentrification and demolition of community spaces. You know, groups like that who can organise to not only inform students about the various issues faced in London, in the UK and abroad, but, you know, set up networks for students to be able to actively participate in that. Another thing I would like to do is to set up spaces for the existing campaigns to collaborate on issues, specifically for campaigns that are focused on issues within SOAS. Because SOAS management presents many, many blockages for campaigns in trying to achieve what they would like to do. And so if campaigns can come together, then we will serve as a greater force to be able to challenge the management. The other thing I would like to do is give out more information about the restructuring. I think everyone's feeling quite nervous about the environment that the financial crisis at SOAS is creating. And so I would like to platform ways of engaging students in that and actually acting on changing the restructuring. But ultimately, it's to support the campaigns that already exist, because students are putting in hard emotional labour into fighting for causes that they care about, and management aren't listening. So what I want to do is, you know, try and build that bridge so that it's not a friendship that's created, because I don't think they're actually going to be our friends. But yeah, vote for me.
I just wanted to say that there is loads of space at the front if you want to come forward, because again, people look a little bit squished on the sides. So the next role that will be spoken on is the international officer. So again, this is another uncontested role, so there won't be questions here. So if I could invite Serena Coulson and Annie Sridharsan on the stage, please. Serena and Annie. Serena and Annie for international officer. Okay. Let's move this to the...
Yes.
We're going to move this. I'm going to announce it again in a few roles' time. But.
Okay, the one you've all been waiting for, at least what I've been waiting for, is your co-president of activities and events. Excellent. Firstly, we have Kada.
Hi everyone, my name is Paddy Connolly Davy, but when I'm acting the fool like this, you can call me Glandular Fever. I'm a third-year music student, and I've been the LGBTQ plus officer for the last year and a little bit. I'm running for a co-president of events and activities because I know that from all of the events that I've done for these past couple of years, I can commit to this role and represent the student demographics as best as I can. And yeah, cool. So I've broken this down into kind of 4 sections. First is campaigns. When I first came to SOAS, I was amazed by the amount of things going on, but I thought it was a bit overwhelming because there were so many things that I didn't understand, and I thought it was a bit inaccessible. So I want to make sure that there are more open forums to help people, newcomers, learn about these campaigns. I also want to work with the campaigns officer to make sure that people know how to start campaigns. Next is sports. Now, I'm not the most sporty person, unless drag is a sport, but I went to varsity last night and I was completely inspired by the amount of team spirit and show sportsmanship and all of that. It was amazing. So I really want to get more involved in this. Some ideas I have are things like a sports week, sports testers, introducing new sports to the Students' Union, and getting the student body more involved, even if you're not doing the sports. I think that we need to get people coming to cheer on the teams because it's so important. I've also been working with the netball captain to make sure that trans and non-binary representation is, getting up there. That was great phrasing, thank you. Next, entertainment. This is like my thing. So I want to organize screenings of things like sports and films down at SU Bar because it's an amazing space. We need to do gigs there. I want to make a makeshift stage so that we can have gigs, monthly concert series to showcase SOAS musicians because we have so much talent here. Thank you. Also on the topic of music in the bar, we need to address the music that's being played. I want to do a request system. Sorry, Barstan. A request system so that we can diversify the music that's being played. Also, music stuff. I'm going to continue with open mics and jam sessions. I want to get a session band in. And yeah, I also ordered loads of sound equipment to the Students' Union earlier this year, but it's not being used because it's disorganized and inaccessible. So I want to do training workshops for sound engineering so that anyone can do an event in the JCR. I think you're running out of time. Oh, I'm 30 seconds, lovely. Okay, what else can I say?
You're amazing!
Thank you. I didn't read my speech. I should have done that. Yeah. I'm just going to go to my conclusion. I have so much faith in SOAS. I've been shown so much faith in me and my events, and I want to make sure that I am representing groups that are underrepresented in SOAS through events and activities. And I hope if you vote for me, I can make you all proud. So thank you very much.
What's up, my SOASians? I'm a third-year economics student, London born and bred. SOAS has been so good to me. I've chilled, I've had overnights, I've had late nights. Probably should have studied more as well, but it gets like that. The two buzzwords I'm going to be using are liberation and litty for my presentation or speech. My first point of contact is going to be obviously the JCR, the bar and events and parties. Obviously that is my speciality. I was ACS president in my second year and we made a good knock as well. I want to have all types of events. I want to have reggaeton nights, I want to have salsa nights, I want to have drag nights, I want to have Arabian nights, I want to have dabka nights. It's important that we liberate everyone and it's important that we express ourselves and celebrate the SOAS diversity, but it's also about coming together in a common space. I feel like we always celebrate and highlight people's differences, but it's also good to celebrate the similarities that we have. That will bring me on to my second point, which is going to be sports and societies. I'm very aware of the tight budget that the SU run, but I feel like we need to somehow form some sort of casual sports league, because there's a lot of people and a lot of people in the student body that want to jump in sports and somehow get their foot in, but they feel like the societies and sports are quite cliquey and they have social anxiety in terms of entering those spaces. Also, the contingent of this SOAS body is majority women, and a lot of them have come to me and said that they want casual sports as well. And I would be happy to facilitate that through our societies or through my sports officer, whichever one is most applicable. I would also like to do a weekly podcast with my fellow co-presidents, because I feel like you guys getting to know us as much as me getting to know you, or because as it's very important that you guys just want to come to our office and just chat to us as people. So I think a weekly affairs podcast where students can jump on and just talk will help us all integrate better. My final point, of course, is going to be about the common space. We need to revamp some of the social spaces in this university. I think the Russell Room could use a foosball and a new ping pong table, so we can maybe have some more fun there. Unfortunately, it won't be in the JCR because after a couple of drinks, it might get a bit tight. But I feel like that I can help
30 seconds.
everyone and provide SOAS with a very enjoyable experience. If you guys like my face, make sure to check me out on the SOAS page. I do a lot of student takeovers for no reason. So if you guys want to find out about me, just jump on there. How long have I got left? Vote Lyndon.
Hello everyone, my name is Giulio, otherwise identified as the Italian bartender. I am a student of anthropology combined with study of religions. Roughly 3 years ago I stepped into these doors. Along with the smell of weed, there was an atmosphere that I never encountered before. What struck me the most was that I did not step into a mainstream university, where I'd spent 3 years and then goodbye off to a job that my degree can assure. Here I encountered community, values of justice and equality, and most importantly, family. Here where legends and myths are shared between the older and younger generations. Here where from colonial origins we decided to deconstruct and fight these atrocities. Here I found a home, and it is for this home that I want to contribute my ideas, assistance and energies. Enough romanticism. First of all, as foundation to my co-presidency, I recognize that SOAS, to be what it is, it should work as a community. In such position, I intend to uphold and facilitate the sense of community, and in a community every voice gets heard. My role will be that of mediator of funds and resources. I want to be available to society and students of all backgrounds, courses and degrees to reach out for me and work together in managing events and spaces to host them. For my part, my main vision is to place in vital relevance the initiatives of students. As we all know, SOAS is going through stressful structural shifts. These tensions can be felt in every branch of this institution. As students, I think we can help by reclaiming the initiatives, imaginations and visions into our hands and voices. I want to see the JCR become a hotspot where ideas are shared and diffused back in the outside. We have a huge number of artists in campus, and the JCR should be a space where artists can cultivate and express their visions with the whole student community. SOAS can seem like an island, but this island is not isolated. It floats in the ocean of London, it shares its tensions and it carries its history. I want to see the JCR become a vibrant hotspot where London's art, music, poetry and ideological movements can find a place of refuge and platform. I want to see the gates of SOAS open and expand this sense of community to the outside as well. But how? First of all, we need to bring more variety of events into SOAS that have popularity and significance in London. Then funk up this space in celebratory occasions, grant space for vibrant London music scenes, DJ sets in the grass area when it's sunny, spoken word nights, rap battles, jam nights where musicians both inside and outside can create magic, performance events and movie screenings. SOAS is not just fun and games, it is also a place where awareness gets nourished. As a co-president of activities and events, it will be my priority to work with liberation groups, activist societies, religious societies, and manage the necessary resources needed to host events, talks, and screenings that get our minds buzzing. I believe that sports are another aspect where our university can raise its name to the outside. It is important to merge sports with our community by engaging students with the victories and losses of our sports society, hosting celebratory events, and in general to decrease the gap between sports societies and the student population. I believe in SOAS and our community and want to give all my energies and assistance to this place. Peace.
JCR busy every single night. I want you guys to know what's going on and be able to show up. I want you guys to make use of your societies. Every single person in this room has a right to enjoy their year at SOAS. Why am I running? It's going to sound really, really cheesy, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I'm Iranian, I'm a woman, I'm a Muslim. SOAS is the only place and the place that made me proud to be every single one of those things. I found myself and I found you guys. And I want to stay an extra year and make sure that that happens for every single one of you. How am I going to do this? I want those hip-hop karaoke's back. I want every single one of those green spaces outside not to be empty every day. I want summer barbecues, film screenings, inside and outside. I want those late licenses, bigger, better, and busier than ever. And you're going to have a bi-weekly poster outside the SU. You're going to have a bi-weekly poster outside the SU so you know exactly what's going on and so that you can show up. I want sports events. Sports is one of the best ways the community can get together. You don't need to be a pro to play. Trust me, I know. You can show up, show your support. Yesterday we had a varsity match. That should have been packed up full. What else can I say? And activism. So is one of the best places for our political beliefs, our political views. We've got to voice that. I want to open a space for debate. Every single one of you have a voice and you should use it. And next year's going to be a scary year. We've got restructuring coming up and the cuts, and last year was the strikes. I will fight every single step of the way to make sure your voices are heard. And I remember that SOAS is one of the places you meet more diverse people in one day than other people get to in their entire lives, and that's what makes us special. I will fight for that. I will keep SOAS as SOAS, and I can do that through our events and activities as long as you guys promise to show up. It's not going to be all fun and games. It's going to be nitty-gritty. There are going to be 8 a.m. meetings and contacts I need to get a hold of, and it's not always easy. I helped organise the Law Ball. I've got Law Sock on my hands. I've got the experience to do the tricky bits as well. My door is always open. You have questions, come to me with answers, and I'm going to make SOAS have the best year ever.
We're going to take 3 questions. So, 1 question. Do we have 2 more? Question 2. Okay. So 1, 2. Okay. So let's go with question number 1.
I'm sure. Oh, you got it.
Hi. Just wanted to ask, how do you plan on, prioritising, queer safe spaces, events, and dealing with minority harassment at events, particularly LGBTQ ones?
Okay, well, I don't really know how to deal with this at all. No, I'm joking. One of my biggest priorities coming to SOAS was to create a queer safe space. When I first came, there was a complete lack of queer visibility, so I created the Drag Society and made our voices be heard. As the LGBTQ plus officer, I've made sure that at every single event that I've done, people can approach me and say if they're having any kind of difficulties, they can talk to me and I'll help them with them. I also want to make sure that I'm in contact with the welfare contacts to help people with sensory issues.
Time.
Yeah.
I feel that's a great question. Basically, the most important thing is that we try and, we need to emphasize and we need to make sure that we celebrate our differences. Like I've said before, we need to make sure that we create safe spaces for all of the marginalized communities, but we also need to make sure that we come together. And I feel like hiding in the corner, hiding away allows people to bully you guys, and I feel like when we all come together and have each other in common spaces and we get turned up together, there'll be none of those talented people to do that.
Hi. So, I don't think the role of this position is to do everything, but it's to engage with energies and support to people come up and try to strategize new ways and manage spaces, organize nights. And I think that the most important aspect of this role is to engage with your energies as much as you have in order to provide these situations and spaces.
So I think it's all about visibility, and I think it's all about the means and how we educate. Socials and events are the best way for us to represent every single marginalized group in this entire student union. I'll go to every single rep for a drag sock, LGBTIQQIA sock. There's more, but I tried my best. But yeah, I'm going to stay in touch. I'll keep that portal of communication open. We will use you and represent you. Use every means of entertainment we've got to make sure you guys have a platform to you have.
Time.
Alright, great competition this year. I think if all four of you could... Like, you're all just so great. So this question is kind of going off that. What... I'm not trying to pin you against each other, but what particular skill would you have as an individual that would equip you better than your competition to serve us in this role?
I would say my ability to integrate with everyone. SOAS is basically a university of odd one outs, me being one of those. You just need to embrace yourself and be able to integrate with people. I currently go and play football with my eyes off. I'm not Muslim, but you know, it's just football, so you just need to be able to talk to people, and I feel like my ability to get to know people, understand people, is what makes me a good candidate for this role. And I just want to chat to people, to be fair to you.
Time.
Well, I can't speak for myself in comparison to all of them, but I'd say what I have is genuine love for this place and belief in the students. And I'd say that we can all find a common vision to make the space of us students a space where the name of SOAS can resuscitate a bit and create a vibrant atmosphere here.
I mean, I think it goes for all of us, but for me, I say I guess it's that I really, really care. I've been thinking about this since first year. I just plucked up the courage to go for it. I'm going to put my heart and soul into this. I genuinely love every single one of you, and I want to make the most and do this job to the very best of my ability. I want to get to know every single one of you and just deliver. Yeah.
Okay, so I think one part of this job and all of the co-president roles that is so crucial is listening to what the students need. I'm an amazing listener, I've been told, and I would make sure priority is to listen to what people want, what they need, and my door would always be open. It is now. Come talk to me. I will do everything for everyone. Sure, that's a thing.
Do we have a third question for co-president activities and events? Come on, a third question. If not, then let's... Oh, is that a...
Hi, what do you think would be your greatest challenge as the co-president? What do you think is going to be your greatest challenge as co-presidents to be next year? And how do you think you deal with that?
I think the greatest challenge will be to be in dialogue with the management, I'd say, and try to push ideas and visions. The greatest challenge will be to get the initiatives in the hands of students, and I'd say also listen to everyone and manage spaces for everyone, since we have a real problem with space. Yeah.
I'd say it's probably the position itself. Once you get in those, I think it's the doors itself. Like once you get in that office, I think it forms a certain level of exclusion. Like people think it's a formal to come and approach you and tell you what they're thinking. I want to make sure that if I'm lucky enough to be in there, you guys know I'm still accessible. My door's always open. You can hear from me all the time.
Greatest challenge. Okay, I think the greatest challenge, and this is something that I've been tackling with as working the Students' Union for the past year, is widening participation in events. We do so many events here, but people don't hear about them. So I want to create, reutilize all of the notice boards so that people know when things are happening, where they're happening, and make sure that everything is known. Yeah.
I'll probably say greatest challenge is just getting the message across to the student body. There's a lot of students in this university, 5,000 of us approximately, and it's just getting across the events and the accessibility that they have. Everyone to enjoy the spaces that we have and not just go to lectures and study. Also gets you good grades and what I probably should have done, but I want people to enjoy themselves, and I will be trying my best from vision course all the way to the end of graduation to try and integrate people and let them know what the SOAS community is about.
Time.